What's poppin'? I'm Koran Streets, and this is No Jumper. Hey man, it's Koran Streets, you know I got it. R.P. JB, the motherfucking legend. 28 from South Berkeley, 2800 Craig Street. It's a crazy side, my nigga. It's wild. Most people think about Berkeley and shit. They think about Cal and fucking Telegraph and shit, and hippies and tie-dye shirts and shit. That's not my side, and that's not how I grew up. South Berkeley, kind of real wild, you know. Kind of how anybody would grow up in the inner city, man. A lot of drugs, poverty, shooting, you know, the norm, you know. Never knew my father, never seen a picture of him, never heard him talk. Crazy story about that shit, actually. I got an older brother, two older brothers and an older sister. They both, my father was in all of their life. When I was born, the nigga just left. So I was kind of like, what the fuck? But mom's great. That's my baby, man. Everything I do is for my mother. You know, my mama done been shot in the head. My mama was so dope at one point in her life. She has every college degree there is to get, including her PhD. She runs the only African-American theater in Northern California called the Lower Bottom Players. Shit, my mama a boss, nigga. Shit, fuck wrong with you? My mama love Mac 10. Love Mac 10 and oh my God, Dub C. My mama love you, nigga. My mother has the biggest crush on Dub C. On life, bro. I swear to God, bro. So that type of shit. Coincidentally, now she hate all that like rah-rah gangster shit. But if you hop in the car, my mama right now, she's throwing on the most gangster shit in the world, but she hate when I rap about it. Yeah, ex-Black Panther, community activist. My mom does a lot in the community, you know, from organizing free events for the community, giving back, to free plays, to organizing right now what's called the Black Arts Movement, to where she's trying, you know, circulate everybody who's black in the community who's doing art and push it forward, you know. So yeah, my mama, you know, she been about the community for a lot. I think that's kind of like where the political shit in my music come from. Tupac. I was listening to Tupac, bro. Machiavelli the GOAT. That's how I started off. But then like Nas, 50 Cent, I was listening to a lot of like lyricists, niggas who was talking about shit, niggas who had a story. Like I was listening to niggas with deep content when I was young. I always say the Jacker, that album raised me, the Jack artist. You know, that's one of our ghosts. That's our Tupac, if you ask me, the Jack. That's Bay Area legend. You know, and of course Too Short, E40, you know, Mac Dre, Mr. Fab, all my senseis, you know, all people who I've taken from, you know. I never decided that I wanted to make music. My mama made me rap. I swear to God. She came in the room, it was me and my little brother, and she said just like this, hey, y'all want to rap? And he was like, yeah. She said, okay, go with Rudy. And Rudy was like a famous jazz pianist in New York and shit, and he had like a conscious rap group called MAC, and it was called Mind Altering Consciousness. So I remember, this is how I started rapping. Rudy took us to the studio, so at a young age, I was 9, I understood how to formulate raps, like what a 16 was, what a hook was, what a bridge was, all that little shit. And Rudy wrote my first rap. It was called Every Single Day. And I don't even remember what the fuck that shit was now, but I tell you right now, it was far from what I'm rapping about now. 15, that's when I started like getting into trouble, like robbing niggas and shit, living a life of crime. 15, that's when I first caught my first case ever. It was a strong arm robbery on Telegraph in Berkeley, California. That jail shit kind of like wrapped me up. I was in that shit deep. I couldn't shake that jail monkey for a minute. I would always rap and I would reach a point where I felt like I'm gaining some momentum and then I would go to jail. And it was like, just like that, all the time. So for me, I always knew I was dope. I always knew I was making good motherfucking music. I couldn't shake the jail monkey, and I never really had the resources to push my shit like that. I was always that nigga with a lot of talent with no fucking money, bro. I've always been on the real side. I've always been talking about my life and being broke and sleeping on the fucking floor, man, and just about the struggles and how that shit make me feel, and about ways I'm trying to implement to get out of this shit. That was always my thing. The last time I went to jail, I wouldn't specify for what, but like I said, my mama my fucking baby, man. So I caught this case and she was like, this is it, man. After this, I'm not gonna support you no more. I'm not gonna call you. My mama wrote me every single day. I got a letter every single day I was in jail from my mama. And it was kind of like she was doing that time with me. I would check in with her. I don't know if a nigga ever been in jail, you know that type of support, getting a letter of any type of kind, bro. But She told me, this is it, this is it, this is it, and that. It's like sometimes you hear somebody, but you know, you ain't really listening, you know, and I was listening that time. I just straightened my shit up. I said, I ain't going back. And really, when I put that in my mind, you know, everything else kind of put itself in place. When I shook that jail shit, everything else was kind of easy. Not hanging around the same people, kind of like biting a bullet, my nigga, struggling sacrifice. Nigga, I'm gonna go rob a nigga, bro, if I ain't no fucking money. I ain't gonna sit around, I ain't gonna fucking be broke. So it's just sitting around and being broke, leaning on my talent, you know, really leaning on my talent, having faith that, man, this shit gonna work, bro. It's gonna shake some type of way for me, my nigga, like, it got to. And if I keep doing this shit, it ain't never gonna work. So that was my thing, like, I know I got talent, and I just seen a lot of niggas fuck it off. I'm not gonna be one of them unsung niggas. I'm not gonna be one of them niggas who have made a good song in the hood and nobody fucking knew about it no more, you feel me? I'm not gonna be one of them niggas who had a lot of buzz, bro, and the nigga just went to jail. So really that, changing my ways, changing my situation, changing the people around me. That's really how I had to get up out of there.
Then Koran Streets, man. Harsh out the bay, man. Catch up, man. You mustard motherfuckers, man.
This is
here,
Keith.
That's what it is.
You feel me? Shout out. That's my brother, if you niggas don't know. That's my blood brother, same mama, same daddy. You know, I got a shout out to the pack. I always kind of dealt with a small sibling rivalry when it came to Keith. You know, that nigga doing music, me doing music as a young nigga and shit. And then, like I said, we was fucking poor. Like, fucking poor, bro. So when I seen Stunner get out there, MTV, BET, and doing his thing and shit, I'm still rapping. I'm in the hood and shit. So it was like my thing, like, all right, big bro, I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna get out there too, bro. So it was always motivating in that sense. And that's where I got my style from, you feel me? That's the first thing I looked to for motivation. Like when it came to this shit, it was Keith. That was the period, bro, you know? So I kind of felt like I'm piggybacking what he set off, you know, and I'm doing a good job at it. Grew up in East Oakland and shit. I had dreads my whole entire life. I've never had a fucking haircut. Never. No fucking braids, no fade, ever. And niggas used to tease me. Shit locks, Bob Marley, are you from Jamaica, monkey boy, all the shit. So I used to literally grow up fighting niggas, because niggas used to tease me, bro. So at the age of 12, like, I understood, like, nigga, this shit is my knowledge, my strength, my wisdom. Like, no, I grew up fighting niggas to keep my hair. I also grew up Muslim. So I had a friend, he was Christian. They had a church retreat. My mama didn't want me to go, but I went anyway. They slept outside. It was like some camping shit. So then I slept outside, did a little camping shit. I came back home, I started washing my hair. I remember it was hella little bugs in the sink. So I told my mama, she was like, I don't know what they was. So we went to the hospital where they then determined that I had lice. What they said was like hella like uncommon for African Americans due to our scalp being like naturally greasy. But then they started running down a list of solutions of which we could treat it. And the first thing they said was cut your hair. It's not a fucking option. No, it's not a fucking option for me. I literally grew up fighting niggas to keep my hair. I cut my fucking hair next. And next they said, well, it's something we prescribe over the counter, but I would start to get seizures. And at the time, I was a star basketball player, man. Like, before I did anything, rap, anything, I thought I was going to the NBA. Like, for real, I was really, really good. My mama, she was really invested into me playing basketball. She knew I was dope. Like, she was the type to show up with the camera. Y'all better put my son in and yell at the coach, why y'all... She knew I was the nigga, you know? So she was like, I want my son, you know, fucking seizures. He gotta go play basketball. If you don't want to do that, you could use gasoline or kerosene. And initially we waived that off too, but they said those are really your only three options. I wouldn't cut my hair. It was never on the table for me. And then my mama was really serious about me not having seizures. So we went with the gasoline and kerosene. My mama always had like a tanker in the car, a gas, just in case she ran out of gas. I think it was like 87 or some shit. She had a fucking like 98 Oldsmobile or some shit. But I remember we went to the house. I get to the house, man. I made sure there wasn't no natural sunlight seeping through. I made sure the stove was off. Then I remember I put my head under the sink. Then my mama started pouring the car gas on my head. And this shit seemed like almost instantly, bruh. Like a nigga doing this, whole head caught on fire. Like instantly, whole head ignited, nigga, like the Ghost Rider. Swear to God, bro. And I knew this back then, but I didn't think about it all forms of gasoline give off invisible gasoline vapors. So we had just turned off the stove. So those gasoline vapors are always in the air. And we had car gas. So when she started pouring that gas, those gasoline vapors from the car gas didn't fuse with the invisible gasoline vapors coming from the stove. So they created an invisible spark, kind of like spontaneous combustion. I'm kicking that Einstein shit right now. Fuck with me. But that is what ignited my hair. You know, it's kind of like an invisible spark. So it's kind of like a freak accident, if you will, like a fucking 1 in a million chance to happen. But lo and behold, I don't fucking know how long I was on fire. I really, really don't. I just remember the shit being red. It was just hella motherfucking red, bro. And none of it hurted. None of it hurted. None of it. And through the graces of Allah, we used to have a washer in the kitchen. And the washer was gone. So my mama opened up the washer and she pulled out a towel. Then I remember she said she threw it over my head. And she smothered me. She said she hugged me. And hella steam came off me and shit, man. And she burned her hand hella bad. I remember when she put me out, my back was on a refrigerator. And I remember my little brother, he came through the back door. The back door was in the kitchen. I remember he looked at me, the nigga just started crying. Just instantly started fucking crying, bro. And I was in shock. I'm literally in shock. So I get up, I run to the bathroom. Whole fucking face was black. Charcoal black. Nigga, black. And I was bald, totally bald, no hair whatsoever. So then I remember I ran out to the living room and I was like, who put the fire on me? Who put the fire on me? Then my mom was like, nobody, baby, nobody. Then I remember I looked down at my hands. Like, man, when I say like my fingernails is like literally like dripping off my hands like candle wax, like shit was dripping. So I just remember saying, bro, I ain't never gonna play basketball no more, like ever. Then that's when my mama really started going through it. Then I just sat down. And then I just remember I just waited on the ambulance to come, you know? And keep in mind, this whole time, I don't feel nothing. None of this shit hurted. I don't feel no fucking pain. Man, you know, they say being burned and being shot is just the two worst injuries you could ever sustain in life, man. I remember getting to the back of that ambulance, man. It was like an internal burn. Like, this shit started to, like, burn from the inside. And I could just remember saying, like, it's starting to burn. It's burning. It's burning. Then I could just remember them pouring hella water on me. It was just pouring hella water on me. And I passed out. Passed out and I fell into a coma. Fucking fell into a coma, bro. Woke up, damn, 6 months later, bro. And I was in a whole fucking body cast, like from head to toe. And I remember only my fucking head caught on fire. So then when they took the tube out of my mouth and I could talk, I asked my mom, like, why the fuck is my whole body bandaged? And she said, you were burned beyond 4th degree. You were burned in places where the skin pigmentation would never grow back. And I didn't want you to be pink for the rest of your life. So I told them to do a skin graft. So they had to take skin from other parts of my body and shit and like put it on my face and on my arms and shit. So then I say, bro, like 27 plastic surgeries later, probably like a year of physical therapy. I was cool. I just remember, bro, I was a basketball player. Like, I was a shooting guard. And I was hella good, and I was right-handed. I remember I went to a surgery one time, and they cut these 2 fingers off. Soldier, nigga, whatever, nigga, I ain't complaining about it, whatever. All right, fuck it, we gonna run it, whatever. I remember we went to another surgery, and they cut these 2 fingers off. Soldier, bruh, fuck it, nigga, run it. It's all right, we gonna get through it, baby. Man, we went through another surgery, man. And then they cut like the tips of these 2 off. I'ma keep it lit. I never complained that whole time, my nigga. Like, I had a real gung-ho attitude. Like, you can ask anybody. I was never like crying. I was never pouting. I was never on no, oh, why me, oh, the world, nigga, fuck, whatever, nigga. I'm gonna be all right, nigga. My whole thing is how I get better. But at that point, like playing basketball, I remember asking my mama, like, Mom, they gonna cut my hands off? Like, mama's this, they gonna cut my fucking hands off? And then now she's like, I don't know, baby. You gonna be all right. But I'm gonna keep it lit. That was probably like the hardest. Other than that, fucking balls, bro. But yeah, that's how that happened, man. Shit's crazy. Shit's wild. It made me hella confident. It made me overtly confident. You know, I never wanted niggas to do shit for me out of pity. I never wanted niggas to think I wasn't able. I never wanted niggas to, yeah, really just that, bro. Do shit for me out of pity and think I wasn't able. So my whole attitude, even in the hospital, was, nigga, this shit happened. I can't change it. This how I'ma be. How do I make it work for me? How do I finesse my situation? And then even now, bro, like, I'm the nigga, bro. Like, look at all this shit I done been through, my nigga, and I'm still here. I can still keep a smile on my face. I could tell this story with humor. You know, like, it just made me look at life like, boy, it'll test you, my nigga. It'll put it on you. And man, life didn't put it on me, bro. But I'm gonna get it back. At first, I was making a whole lot of that rah-rah shit. I used to go by a nigga named Killer Ron. You know, so and then Killer Ron rapped about everything you would expect a nigga named Killer Ron to rap about. You feel me? All type of wild shit. So when I got really honest with myself and I just started keeping it mad real in my music, I think that's when more people started to resonate with it and connect with it. And I'm gonna keep it lit, bro. When I met the big dog, Jeremy Corrales, for real, man. I remember I was in the I was doing a call, bro. I had some nigga I ain't gonna speak on right now, but he told me somebody was talking about me. So when he told me somebody was talking about me, I went and I tweeted that. When I tweeted that, feel me? Jeremy Corrales seen it, and then we hopped on the phone, and I just kind of shouted my story, you know, and kind of like my struggles and what I've been going through, and he just been incredibly instrumental in, you know, just trying to connect the dots for me. Cause I was always that nigga with a lot of talent. I ain't had nowhere to put it out, you know. I ain't had no market. I ain't really know what to do, you know. I'm rapping. I know I'm dope, but I don't got nobody on my side pushing for me and vouching for me that could get it in front of people who could see it and appreciate it. I always said, man, the difference between me getting on is a nigga actually hearing my music, really hearing my shit, bruh, and liking it enough to want to do something, bro. And then that's just what bro did, and I just thank Allah for bro, because if it wasn't for him, I'd still be on my mama fucking floor, 28 years old, man, no motherfucking money, trying to figure this shit out, straight up, bro. Like I said, I always knew I was dope, but that shit right there, not that I feel like I don't deserve it, not that I feel like I'm not worthy, but it's a lot of niggas rapping, and when I looked at that list, and I looked at everybody I was in front of, and you know, everybody who was in front of me, it was just such a blessing just to be in that conversation of these motherfuckers, man. There was a lot of music put out on that shit that I was like, man, y'all think my shit better than that? You know, so it's humbling to the highest point, you know. Like for me, I'm a nigga who ain't never had nothing. I never had a shot. I never had a chance. I never had an opportunity, bro. I was always a nigga like overlooked. So even doing that, bro, I was sleeping on my fucking mama floor when that happened, bro. Grown as fuck. Like, you know? So man, you know, that shit, man. That shit is incredible. That shit is incredible, man. And I don't take it for granted. I really, really don't. That's one of my biggest accomplishments in music, period. I'm gonna say this, bro. Fuck music, bro. My ultimate goal in life is to get my mama a motherfucking house, man. I grew up poor, man. Poor as fuck. You know, always sleeping at my auntie house on the fucking floor over here, man. They gotta tell me, bro, you gotta move. Like, bro, I don't even wanna go too deep into it, but my whole goal in life, bro, I don't care if I don't never succeed. If I never reach my point where I wanna be with the music shit. As long as I could get my mama a slice out of the earth that she can live and die on and call her own, that is my only job, bro. That is my only goal, man. And once I do that, everything else will come into place, man. And I feel like inside of music, that can happen. I see niggas getting this shit at 250,000 on chain, nigga. And bro, that nigga, I put my mama up somewhere lovely right now. 250,000. You fucking stupid. Running from the police. That's one of the most honest depictions of who I am, man. My life, my struggle, my pain. Secondly, moving slow. On Late 20s, the album, dropping August 10th. You know I got it. Because at that point, man, when I talk about being broke, fucked up 2 years ago, I was at my most vulnerable point, my most lowest point, man. I made that song, man, and that every time I listen to that shit, I cry. Period. And in Mama House, right in front of mama house. That's the real me. That's the real me. That's the head first Koran Streets that was out here 17, 18, man, you know, trying to make this shit happen, rapping, but snapping, you know, snapping, and yeah, that's me, all three of them, running from the police, moving slow, mama house. Hey man, go and check me out, my name Koran Streets, you know I got it, RP JB the Legend, go and get my new album, late 20s, August 10th, go and follow me on Instagram at Koran Streets, on Twitter at Koran Streets once. Shout out to No Motherfucking Jumper, man. Shout out to Adam 22, man. It's a blessing to be here. God got it, baby. Roll that weed up.